you need to take a couple steps back. And if he's not, I say, stand the fuck back. And what does that do?
Oh, let him know you're serious.
So that lets him know now what? It's a huge difference. Like if he passes that line now, it's on. Like he's gonna lay on the ground. Because he's gonna come in like that, and my hands are here. My hands are always higher than his. My hands are not gonna be here. You see this stuff all the time, and that's so stupid. That's so stupid because those people have no idea what they're doing.
Right.
Right? That's the intimidation factor. Right? Somebody approaches you, you should be here. Because just even that little push, what does that do to someone? What do you think that does to someone?
A couple of things. They could either They could either get excited by it or they could get fearful.
Yes, they could get fearful. So say I do that same, stand the fuck back. Right? And now he approaches me and this is on. Right? This is a huge thing. So I could palm strike him in the face or I could give him a good push here. Right? So you can see what it does to someone. And it's very effective, right? Does anyone know how to strike any of these things in here?
Yes.
You do know how to strike them?
Yeah.
As in boxing?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you punch someone in the street, you will break your hand. You do know that, yes? Yeah. So breaking your hand, now you are fighting with one hand.
Right.
And that's not very good, right? If I have my hand open and I strike someone with my hand open, I have way more of effect on someone.
For sure.
Right? I can push them, I can grab them, I can do way more to them. I can hammer fist them from here. I can elbow them, I can knee them. All those things are really effective compared to punching someone. So punching someone, you really have to have a lot of training for one, and for another, you can only do so much with it. Right? So you have to be so accurate. And when I'm doing this, you do not. I just throw my hand in his face. Right? If I just do this, and then I can hit it. Right? So you can see how effective that can be. Right? So the last time that I was here, what did we do the last time I was here?
Yeah, you were scratching.
So we were doing what? Right. Okay. So and
then we did that too.
Right. Which is to the ears, right?
Yeah.
So if I do that to his ears, it could literally take all his balance away, if not drop him.
Yeah.
Right? Because those are things that will really work. I hit him in the throat. I hit him in the nose. You don't want to sit there and punch somebody in the face, because some people can take that sort of pain. They can't take it when you start taking their breath away. If I just do a little chop to his neck, 100% he would instantly grab. So if I instantly grabbed my neck and now what's open? Everything. What's open? Yes, my nuts to kick them, right? And that only makes sense. To be able to, so that's what I'm saying, as being ladies, you 100% can be just as strong. You just have to train to be just as strong. So when you train being strong, that's like hitting hard stuff here. That right there is very hard. So when you sit there and hit that thing over and over, now you condition your body to be able to take that type of impact, right? Because don't think that you're not going to get hurt out there, because you will get hurt, but hopefully not injured, right? There's a big difference. If you get injured, it makes it a little bit harder. That's what I'm talking about. Like if you break your hand, now you're fighting with one hand, which is not as good, but you can still pull it off, right? So posturing and understand how to get out of the way first is really a big thing, okay? So we're gonna kind of play into a little bit of dialogue to start today, okay? So is everybody kind of with me so far? Yes? All right, good. So if Jared is over here, I want you to understand how to get away from a situation if somebody even approaches you. So if he approaches me now and I get into this type of thing, this is not good. And why is that? Because I can't go back any further, right? And most people travel in more than one today. It's more than one. So there's always somebody else around. I want you to always think that. They could have a weapon on them, and there could be multiple attackers. So you want to be able to get out of the situation, but also look at what's around you. So looking at what's around me, if he approaches me, I do this. And now I look at what everything is around me. So say Andrea was over here. And Andrea's out front, she's the attacker, and he's out back of me. Right? And she approaches me and I do this, now what am I doing? So now they're both over here. Does that make sense? So now maybe I missed him to begin with, but I just pivoted out and now I'm in this realm where I could, if he approaches me from here, I can hit him and now use him to keep her away. We understand that. And it just takes a little bit of training and understanding. So if somebody approaches you, there will be a big adrenaline dump. You could be impaired. Do we understand that, right? What I mean by being impaired? Where you are frozen. You will do nothing, right? You want to get out of that. How do you think you can get out of that? Being frozen.
You're screwed.
Huh?
You're screwed to get frozen.
Yes, you are, but to get out of that, how do you think that could happen?
How can it happen?
Yes, how could you get out of being frozen?
Scream.
Attack him.
Yep.
Attack. Right? So when you have that fight or flight, you need to attack.
Turn into the lion.
Because turn into the lion. Exactly. Turn into the lion. Turn into somebody that is a bigger person than them. Because you have to have that mentality behind you. The hardest thing that I have when I teach people is to have verbal coming out of their mouth. Right? Having verbal coming out of their mouth is a very difficult thing. Is it not?
It's difficult.
Okay, so
It's difficult.
as in a woman especially, they don't want to make noises. And I know all of you do, right? But they don't want to make noises when they hit. When I hit something, it sounds like I'm really hitting something. Because you have to have that intent behind you. Like if I'm hitting him and I just hit him, I mean, it's okay, but I'm like, "Ah!" If I really hit him with intent, now think if he got hit with that, and it maybe didn't knock him out. He might think twice about it because of that, right? He might be thinking, oh man, I've had enough right there, right? It is to be the bigger person. Do we understand that? Okay, so we're gonna pair up, work with somebody that you want to work with. Do you think we can do that? Yeah. All right, so does everybody have a partner?
Yes.
Yes? No? Maybe so?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
There we go.
So I would like to warm up just for a moment. I want you guys to just do a little bit of just moving around, doing shoulder touches, okay? Kind of like we did last time. So all we're doing, yeah. So I want to talk about this for a moment, just for a moment, right? Oh, she already took them out. So I just want to talk about this for a moment because of that, okay? When we have our hands on our pockets, we're not ready for anything. But if I saw this on the street, I would 100% hit this person. Do you understand that? Why?
No,
Easy target.
No? Why?
You don't know what their hands are doing.
I don't know if that person doesn't have a weapon, what that person's intentions are when they come up to me with their hands like that. Right? If I'm doing this, like this thing, you better be moving and don't just stand there. Right? Because there has been many, especially lately, of stabbings happening. Right? It's easy to stab someone. People that have that intent to stab someone, they will. If they've taken the knife out, they're ready to stab you. So don't wait, and when you see something like this, I'm not picking on you per se, right? But when you have your hands in your pockets, you're not ready for anything. If I have my hands up and they are available, at least if they're in center line, kind of like she has her hands, she has her, like look, she's playing with her hair right now, right? But she has her hands up. If she has her hands down, she has nothing here, right? She can't protect herself. If her hands are up, playing with her, yes, and that type of thing, she could literally strike from that position, right? She could strike from there. Yes, because her hands are there, right? So if she has her hands down, I want you to do that same thing. Strike again. So what does she have to do?
Come up.
She had to come all the way up and strike. If her hands are like hers are, think of that. I like this stance. The only thing I would say is put the hand on the outside. And the reason why I say put the hand on the outside is to be able to strike from there. If I have my hands like this, they could get locked in, especially if you got frozen. Right? If you get frozen, your hands could stay like this. Or if you have your hands like this, they could be frozen. Right? I could have a hard time getting my hands out. If I have my hands here or like this, I could strike from here. I could take just both my hands and shove them in their face, which is not a very difficult thing to do. Agreed?
Stephanie, I would not approach you standing like that because you can see all your muscles in there. You look like
I did a few push-ups.
Well, so per se, so look, when you make yourself a hard target,
yeah.
it's a very different thing, right? It's a